G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati the Sailing Podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates. First off, let's welcome Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
BP.
Oh, God, I hate missing a week. Couple of reasons. Obviously having a chat to you blokes, but the amount of mails we get, the hate mail.
The hate mail.
The hate
Send
mail.
money. Send money.
I can't live with these people just being, having their week ruined. So we're sorry, but having four people in different parts of the world didn't really work. That's how it is.
It is difficult. Let's bring in the other bloke.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Oh, as you were doing the intro, I'm like, fuck, look, I've got the shakes, boys.
It's been so long.
He's back.
No. And then I've just looked down at my coffee cup and I think I've put plunger coffee in as instant coffee. I've just had a full cup of it.
Oh, God, you're going to be on
nervous,
fire for this one.
Paranoid all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
A little bit anxious, a little bit of anxiety creeping in.
I think we've got yin and yang going here because you're going to be wired up and I'm about as flat as a man's ever been. So
Well, I've got to say, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't sleep last night, obviously in anticipation of catching up with us again.
Well, just the nervousness. Oh, I've got to wake up.
Two.
Don't want to miss the episode.
Yeah, don't want to miss the episode.
Have you got jet lag, J-Dog?
I don't know. I think my body's just gone through too many time zones over the last...
Menopause.
That could be it.
Yeah, admittedly,
getting some heat.
Well, I'm actually in NZ.
Yep.
Putting up my Christmas tree here tomorrow because I'll probably be here that long.
Wow.
But out the back of Matt's quick little flyby to see the family in Oz, and now in NZ. So I'm hearing you multiple time zones.
Yeah.
So
It's not easy. Not easy.
Body gets
Last week was there was just no way last week was happening.
no chance.
It was impossible.
And I think it was John Schaefer, our number one listener. I did get a letter from Mum.
Well, at least your mum knew where you were.
Well, that's the only way she finds out. That's why she was worried because she didn't have the Barkarati episode. Where is he?
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
Well, this episode, kids, because we missed a week, and there's so much been going on, we abandon our special guest this week. We're going to just do a bit of a banter session. We did have a guest lined up. This poor guest, we've kept bumping the person. I hope they don't hate us.
No, she's all good. And listen, she's going to be a great guest, and we're going to get her on next week. She's ready to go.
Okay, cool. Well done.
And that is, yes, it is a she, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so there's plenty to discuss. I'll just randomly throw things out. Matt, what do we want to talk about? Anything to tell us, Bice? Anything new? Anything cool?
Oh, mate,
Did you do the networking event?
Yeah.
Bit of networking, Bicey. You're not bad at networking.
Well, there was a bit of that, let's say. Probably not as extreme as it has been in the past, but
How's our mate
super
Billy
cool
Goggins?
to catch up
How's
with
Billy?
everyone. And
How's our mate Bill Goggins?
Bill is good, really good. All the Harkin guys are good, really good. But it's it truly is kind of the line in the sand that everyone kind of works towards at the end of the season, at the end of the year, and everyone's there from boat captains to industry to suppliers to whatever it might be. And this year, especially, it was they had the yacht racing forum running in parallel.
Yeah, that's right.
Which meant there were a lot of people, like, I wouldn't say extra people, but there was a lot more activity going on. 1,600 exhibitors, man.
Yeah, it's a big show.
It's
Anything
massive.
from a little light, an LED light for a super yacht, all the way up to Persco had
Super
one of their
yachts.
big foil arms there for the America's Cup. It's part of the foiling area. And we could have actually held a Barkarati networking event.
Yeah.
Could be an
Well,
idea.
we are going to have a serious chat about this. We do need to get serious about Barkarati one day.
Come on, mate. Let's not get too carried away. But, we had the likes of Sci-Fi on site, Justin Slattery on site, Andrew Pinder. Speaking of Pinder, big news.
names.
What's
Big
happened?
news that they've recreated their whole logistics company. I'll bring up the name later for everyone just to be aware. Formerly GAC Pinder, now a new move, now something a bit more personal from a logistics point of view, someone to keep out. So caught up with all those guys and girls, took part in a little speech as part of the yacht racing forum. Bit of a setup, to tell you the honest truth.
Yep.
Did they give you helium in the beer bottle?
Well, this is a good this is a good example of never miss a meeting, right? So basically, as Southern Spars, we did a bit of sponsorship for the yacht racing forum. As part of that, you get like a 20-minute slot to do a speech. I was on a plane, so I missed the meeting of the decision that we will do a speech about the structured luff and their effect on mast engineering.
Yeah.
Oh, Bicey will do it. No worries.
Yeah. So what, you just baffled him with bullshit like normal?
Well, it's fair to say that was part of it. But I gave it a pretty big disclaimer saying, look, you're going to get this from a sales point of view, definitely not from an engineering point of view.
Yeah. Just get it. You need it.
But what was interesting, gents, and you'll like this, post when I did that little talk, there was a bit of a forum or a panel, let's say, hosted by Luca Rizzotti, our good mate, and talking about foiling. And it's, I forget the exact title of the forum, but it was more about, where do we see the America's Cup going? What's the trickle up and trickle down? And I think it's probably worth getting Luca on at some point to kind of chat about this, because there's a lot of discussion, what boat, about pathways as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unfortunately, you kind of walk away with more questions than answers, because it's not a cheap
I've got to say,
yeah. And ironically, sitting in front of me was Justin Slattery, world's greatest bowman, sitting
Caught
next
up with
to
him yesterday,
Ian
to be
Walker.
honest.
And quite concerning is, where is the next Justin Slattery coming from?
Correct.
Like with all these
big point.
foiling, sailing, where are the next bowmen coming from? I mean, apart from where you are now, BP in Hamble, I mean, they've probably got their Dewberries on and Arrakis stand hanging out in the bar as we speak.
Yeah, in their wet weather gear next to the fire.
Don't you just go and get a homeless bloke off the street? Isn't that where you get bowmen from?
Yeah, well, young homeless bloke. But I know we've spoken about pathways, like down at the, really at the grassroots level. But this, I think, is probably the next real serious discussion. Challenge. Well, only 23% of the time, of course.
Only 23% of the time.
As to where and how and people get involved and, where are the next America's Cup?
It's a big thing. It is. It needs to be talked about. But anyhow.
Anyway, but that was good.
Yeah.
So, Mets, one that you can't really miss, tell you the honest truth. It's got to be, if you got the opportunity, you got to be there. Got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one. Cool. Yeah. All right. The next one's SailGP. Obviously, we saw the first race of the season in Dubai. Did you guys? I know.
Don't start me. Don't start, and don't start UK. They are pissed.
Well, expand on that statement. Why would they be pissed?
And I'll tell you why I'm pissed.
Okay.
Because no one could watch it on YouTube. And, like no one, so many people were, like, I've got to pay £30 to sign up to this thing. And then I've got to pay $4 to watch the £4 to watch the actual event. It was pretty disturbing hearing the comments. A lot of people walked away last week from
£30 a year, and then you pay £4 per
£30 a month.
Wow, yeah, that's bullshit.
You've got to pay £30 a month to join up to the platform, which is like going on KO, right? But in Australia we have KO. There's an arm.
That's my wife feeling guilty.
In Australia we've got the sports platform KO, which is essentially Fox. But I do that because I've got multiple sports.
Right.
But this particular platform is not that. It's just movies and other stuff. Right. And all they want to do is watch the SailGP. So £30 a month plus £4 to watch the actual event. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, as a person with deep pockets and short arms, I've always just watched it on. I've waited the 2 days and then just watched it.
You're a funny looking fella, aren't you?
Big head, long pockets,
short arms, long pockets.
A bit like Rodney Rood.
Half road.
Half Rood.
Yes.
With his brother Evan Road makes outboards, you know.
Down at McDonald's.
No, I've always just watched it on the
Go and
replay.
get a McDog up, yeah.
I got to watch it live, of course.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was interesting. There was.
Hey, Jordan, before you give your analysis, can I tell you what I'm pissed off about?
Yeah. Tell us what you're pissed off about.
That we didn't hit the threshold of what would be considered windy, and Jody Shields wasn't going to be walking down the
Oh yes,
down the street and wogging with a candle up his ass.
I
That was on my
that.
mind. The reason I wanted to watch it last week was for that reason.
Mate,
I couldn't even get a weather report from Dubai. You know, come on.
Yeah,
I went to one of the homemaker little shops
Got a
and
candle.
purchased the biggest, fattest candle I could buy. Put it this way. Our house at Christmas time is going to be smelling like lovely lavender.
yeah. There you go.
Whereas if I had the opportunity to send that candle to Jody, it'd be
Wouldn't be
smelling
smelling
like
like
lavender for the next fucking 10 years.
If you don't understand what we're talking about, just go back to Ep284, and I think it was 283. Yeah, we did the forecast just the week before SailGP. All right, the form guide. Yeah, there was a lot of diversity. Light winds. They had the 29-metre rigs, big everything, and the US boat was the only one that was fully kitted out.
Stand out.
And looked shiny. It looked good. And, obviously the change with Hans Henken on board, but they were going well. I thought Dylan looked rusty at the start, but came good and was just, 10 seconds from popping on the foils before the Kiwis, and he would have won, the Poms would have won the whole event versus the New Zealanders. It was just that who popped up on that foil on the final there.
We know that's the format in these types of events right now.
At the time, yeah. But it was everyone. There's a lot of boats. Everything's very equal at the moment. And I thought I'd tell you some of the things that I learnt. So a lot of the boats got refurbed. Had a quick refurb done on them, and the way they did it was that everyone handed their boats and foils in, and then they refurbed them, and then had a random draw, and you just got given back whatever boat you drew. So you didn't get your same boat back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then you put your own livery on it.
Yeah,
so to
put
speak.
your own livery on it. Yeah. So
I was going to say, at least you didn't change teams completely, because then you're walking into different sheds, different teams, different. With all the draft going on, preseason draft, it'd be just a confusing little episode.
It was a little bit. It was a little bit like.
What boat am I on? Oh, the red one. Oh, God, not this year. I was on the blue one last year.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, a few of the guys, I did have a chat to a few of the guys who had rolled in on new teams, and there's some good friendships they've left behind, and so it was there was a lot of intermixing in the sheds, is all I'll say, because old mates would go, I'm going to go and chat to my mate, and so all the uniforms were mixed up.
Any banter at any of the press events? Or was it a bit of everyone's kind of, early season playing their cards close to their chest?
No, they didn't really give too much away. I think Russ did most of the work. He told about the prize money now. It's 12 million over the season.
No.
Yeah. So it's not just 2 million at the end of the year. There's 12 million total over the whole season.
Jesus.
And I think it's only the top three win. I can't remember what the exact numbers were, but it's pretty substantial. So I think it was something like 460, 240 and 120 or something like that. I can't remember, but it's quite a bit to win.
Bicey, I'm thinking we're going to have to just enter into the event next year, Barkarati.
Oh,
Barkarati.
We'd be unbeatable. Mate.
How much knowledge have you got, Jay?
I know. 12 million. We'd win 12 million. That's US dollars every year.
We only need to win 1/3.
Probably not far off the revenue we see coming in these days. Got to have to sell a few more hoodies, I reckon, boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Another interesting thing was, and I sent you boys a whole bunch of the images and schematics of it, but the foils. Remember,
Yes,
we discussed the new titanium foils and how having that titanium outside the hull is going to be dangerous. So what the actual foil is in the iteration that's going to be used now is that anything that's to the outside of the hull is carbon. So
well, that's a lot nicer.
A lot nicer, yeah, much softer.
I'd like to be killed. I'm so glad I got killed by carbon and not by titanium.
You know what I thought when you sent that through? Might call it a sacrificial tip. At least you know who's going to be hit. They'll be walking through the boat park with half a foil hanging out their arm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but anyway, so
and let's not joke about it because it's serious. I mean, really. Okay, yeah, that's good. They've gone for that idea, and that was the first thought I had. I said it's really obviously for boat on boat impact, but if anything bad goes wrong, I mean, it's not going to make a single difference, is it?
Yeah. But I mean, at least they've tried something. With the new heavy wind foils, they should be in the boats from New Zealand, so January,
Auckland, or wherever.
Auckland.
I wonder if they should have big rubber guards on the front of them.
Yeah.
The super cavitation foil.
Yeah, that's it. And they reckon that they're going to be 10% faster top end speed on those
That's
ones.
Insane.
Wow. The light wind versions will probably be at Portsmouth or maybe
Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth, or maybe in Switzerland. One of those sorts of times.
But they'll be teas as well, are they?
Yeah, they're teas as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they're going the full thing, the full titanium go. What else? So that was interesting.
How about who was the form guide that we spoke about?
Well, New Zealand were great. The Aussies.
And who didn't surprise, who
I thought
kind of like the Italians, Brazilians, where we'd expect them to be at first regatta.
Yeah, I guess it was difficult. Like I think what happened to both those teams is that in the lead up, they had a couple of days of practice. They only got like a day or 2 days of practice, and from what I'm told, and in normal conditions they were going pretty well, but they hadn't used the 29 meter rig, and so it was caught them out a little bit. And how to pop, one of the things that was really obvious is the Aussies were the first to pop. They'd worked out how to get their boat up and flying before anyone else. So that was interesting. But then they just,
apart from the last race.
Yeah. But those starts were just a nightmare, like if you didn't get a clean lane, you were stuffed basically. And what else? Martine, apparently we're supposed to call her Martini. Martini. Yeah, I didn't realise that. I've called her Martine.
No, she's always been Martine to us.
Yeah. So, but she got heaps of attention, which was
is that like
good.
an Italian thing? Like the Italian version of our version. No, I know she's from Brazil, but Martini. Yeah. Our version is Martino.
Oh, you're in Portugal a lot. Why don't you ask some of the Portuguese how you?
That might be what I should do.
Yeah. Just ask. But yeah, so. In terms of form, I think it'll all be completely different form come New Zealand, because I think January's pretty much their windy month in New Zealand. It's the windiest time of year to go to Auckland. So it should be pretty good.
And it's confirmed Auckland?
I'm not saying a word, but yes, it is. It is as far as I know. Like, it's a pretty small site for them. But yeah, I think they're looking forward to it.
It does. It's got Auckland on the website. So.
SailGP's off and away. It's definitely, there's a couple of vibes going on.
A couple of Marbos.
The Marbo. It's definitely got that feel that it's away, like it's up, it's going, it's full bore. It's probably not as laid back as it's been in the past, like there's a lot of money on the,
Well, there's a lot of cash involved, right?
Yeah,
like team.
The sailors are less interactive, I think, there's less kicking the footy around nowadays, but might have just because it was really hot in Dubai for winter.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be kicking the footy in the hot.
Yeah.
Not in the doobs.
Yeah.
No way.
But we'll see. So anyway, it was good. We'll see. It's going to be better with a bit more wind. So hopefully.
Oh, mate. down in NZ, they'll be throwing the pigskin around. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, no question.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Probably a bit of banter between the NZ and the Poms with the cricket at the moment too.
Oh yeah.
Just lucky
Poms
we don't
had a
have an
good day
Indian
yesterday
team
at
in the
cricket.
SailGP because the Indian team will be getting stuck in the Australians.
Oh, don't worry, mate. There was a few of those youngsters roaming around in Dubai and giving it to me. I was going.
I'll tell you what, though, Jay, you'd be a happy man.
Oh,
You know,
I
Australia
haven't heard
beating England last
night.
week.
The other week against England. Yeah, well, I haven't heard last night's result against Ireland. I checked at 3:30 in the morning, and it was pretty tight. So I haven't seen the final score yet. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll jump on that in a minute. But anyway, right. I guess we should move on. But good luck to everyone racing SailGP. Vendee, boys.
Vendee Globe.
How cool.
Mate.
Yeah, just four. That's a word, actually. If you look it up in the dictionary, it's a FWORWOR.
Oh, is it?
For what?
Interesting spelling, but I'm going with it.
Well, it's fair to say.
It's fair to say.
These yachties
Are
bloody
insane.
nuts.
Yeah.
Boats are cool. Breaking records all over the joint.
Oh,
my God.
3 weeks in the south of the Cape Good Hope.
Unbelievable.
Smoking.
unbelievable.
Records tumbling.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. I mean, like, you've got to have hats off to every single one of them. There's no question that we should be mentioning the person in now 39th, which is the last person, but obviously, with one of them dropping out with a broken ankle or whatever it was. But every single one of those people out there are absolutely incredible people. But, mate, as you said, Bicey, they are nuts. They are just, especially the guys at the front, how fast they're going.
I mean, let's go back a couple of weeks at time of recording, though, 1 week in, John Le Camembert was down the African. That's all. I just wanted to say that.
John Le Cheese.
Was down the African coast and potentially looking to slide into the lead. And I think my exact words were, he's about to get hit smack bang in the face with a shovel. For a couple of days, he was looking good, but then him and Conrad kind of made their way back to the fleet. And it was just a beautiful trade.
It was almost like a funnel, wasn't it, Bicey, going through the doldrums? They all just went through at the same spot almost.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
it's funny.
Then that's when we saw the record starting to tumble.
Oh, yeah.
And what are we, over 600 now for 600 miles a day?
I tell you,
single-handed. Holy
incredible,
crap and balls.
incredible. But I tell you what was fantastic was
615.33 miles.
Far out.
talk about that in a sec. But my I'd like to point out Sam Goodchild's effort during that period in the lighter stuff. How well he did to be in the lead for that period. Obviously now what we're seeing now, we're definitely seeing the boats coming into their own. Floor.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got good sailors. Yes, 100%. But there's no reason why Sam is where he is. He's just that 20 miles a day, 30 miles a day slower over the period because of these boats. The way how well they've got them tuned and where they're at with them.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's a discussion point, really, isn't it? Because it was Sebastian Simon that set the record, right? And I'm pretty sure his boat is
that's the 11th hour boat.
Oh, 11th hour, yeah. And remember, BP, when we were trying to chat in the Volvo, the 11th hour was she was broaching and doing all sorts while we were chatting to Herman's team, on
Melitza.
Yeah.
on Melitza.
Melissa,
So,
when you forgot to press record.
yeah.
I was livid. I was gutted. That was the best conversation.
Anyway,
move on.
Yeah, but anyway, so he's set that speed record in that boat. Like that's just insane.
Incredible. But that obviously there's a whole heap of what people probably don't really get is how far these boats are apart. Even though they're close together, they might be 20, 30, 40, 100 miles apart. And there's a lot of different sort of little bits of veins of weather out there, especially in the Southern Ocean.
Well, I'm just looking now and just kind of not to disrupt that little comment, but you got Charlie leading.
Yep.
Hot on his hammer.
But they've all swapped the lead last night.
So Charlie Darlin, that is.
Yeah.
4 miles ahead of Yon Rishon.
Yeah, Yon Rishon.
That's a cool name.
I love that. It is a cool name, Yon Rishon.
Yon Rishon.
Yoni Rishon.
Seb Simon. So
good old Seb.
Yeah, and then the vulnerables.
Sebo, he's doing well.
Well, but hang on. So we go into the Southern Ocean now, right? And
they're deep in the Southern Ocean. They're down on the ice line.
Yeah, that's right. So, but I'm wondering, just around that statement around, the 11th hour, how that couldn't sail, it couldn't load up as much as Melitza. I'm wondering if now that we're into the Southern Ocean, we're going to see some sort of movement through the fleet. I think there's
from Boris.
Well, from anybody, the more scour-orientated boats, I guess, is what I was trying to get to. We've got that group of 4 or 5 that are just slightly, I think they're about 20 mile apart between them, and then there's a gap of about 100 mile in there. Isn't that where it's at the moment?
I think reality is, though, like from what using the ocean race as any sort of form to what configuration these boats are now.
Yep.
Like there'll be different foils, a whole bunch of different things.
I think one of the big points as well, Bicey, is that if you look at when the record was broken, it was on that prefrontal situation, which the pressure was there, but the sea was flat.
Yeah, flat water, brother. Yeah, just hammer down.
If you can hammer down in front of the front, stay in front of the front, you're just riding the wave, right?
Yeah.
So that is a good point, Jay, because once the front goes past and gets through them, then it all changes again. The boats that are going to handle rougher conditions are going to start to shine.
Yeah,
it's going to turn the wind on here on my little map. Oh yeah, look at that.
And so
it should be cold.
If we remember,
it should be freezing. It'll be cold down there.
We remember the last Vendee though. It's trying to stay on that weather front. I think Charlie was the master of sort of just hanging on that little bit extra, and then if you can just jump a weather, a weather system, then that's going to be the difference. And that first group of 5 or 6 are going to jump a weather system.
Yeah,
pretty much straight away, I reckon. And then it's just how long that group stays together.
I'm going to have to watch their daily brief just to see what it looks like, the routing with the current weather system.
Yep.
Have you watched that yet at all on their site?
Is that the one with D, Kafari?
Yeah. They kind of interview different people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The way it's done.
Yeah. Look, it's super cool. Like we were so excited with the build up into this and, to have it sort of go through now, and be watching it and enjoying it. It's great fun. So
yeah, wonderful. It's just capping off 4 months of just brutally exciting sailing.
Yeah.
And of course, straight into the actual world. Now there we go.
Yeah. Hang on. I just want to see our man on the Bureau Valley where he is.
Oh, the Bureau Valley.
Most of that.
Oh, no, he's going set. Like after doing all those repairs, I thought he was a candidate to go to Cape Town, but he's carrying on. In the Louis Burton in the Bureau Valley when he basically split the side deck. And did the repairs at sea.
Yeah. Wow. They looked a bit sus, didn't they? Did you guys?
Well, whether it's sus or not, I mean, you definitely saw where one of the outriggers attached.
Yeah.
Which looked like maybe the cause.
Yeah.
But he literally took it on, got the grinder out.
Yeah.
Laminated, glued, cut battens, all sorts of shit, mate.
Bit of Bubsy action in the Abu Dhabi Volvo Ocean Race.
Abu Dhabi, absolutely.
Dubai.
He took the tow rail off. I saw that as well. Bolted in a bit of tow rail.
Yeah,
and the fact he
took the
is
tow rail off and used that as a stringer.
Yeah,
currently heading due south, into the Southern Ocean. He's carrying on. Bloody hats off.
Right.
He wants to get in front of the next sou'wester.
Maybe he's trying to get as south as possible to get under the Agulhas current because if that's still running pretty hard. Maybe the boats in 5th and 6th at the moment are just going through it a little bit. I see Sam Davis heading straight south. She's just decided to go. Well, the weather's decided that she has to head straight south at the moment. I don't know if you see where she's going.
Yeah. Well, we might be looking at different maps. I've got her heading on a northeasterly direction.
Maybe you're sailing your boat backwards.
Bicey, you're doing the virtual race.
Virtual. Put it this way.
Look out for me. If you see me, can you let me know?
Put it this way. I've got the.
Oh no, she's jived back. Yeah, no, you're right. She's going northeast.
I've got the heat beats.
Yeah.
The heat beats are in the fire starter.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
The brisket has been purchased. So just in case, might be a brisket for Christmas.
Beautiful.
For some of these
I
bodies.
tell you what, the way they're going.
Mate, they'll be,
be good fun.
They'll be through before Christmas. Holy shit!
We pretty much picked most of that lead pack. I think Charlie still looking good, but it's the interesting thing is it's really tight. I reckon this next few weeks are going to be the decider. You know, who falls off the weather system last and stays. It's going to be the decider of the race, unless you break something, of course. But yeah, I
guess the only person that I don't see in the leading pack, which I thought would be there, would probably be Boris.
Yep.
The top 9 for sure. Yes,
11th at the moment.
But as I said a second ago, Boris, you know, the conditions now are starting to favour that boat as it gets rougher.
Yeah, so the only problem is the 1,200 miles. He's 1,200 miles behind.
Weather system behind.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that, but still.
Well, maybe the brisket will slow the front
1,200 miles with 17,000 miles to go. You know, it's not so bad.
Yeah. No, that's all cool. All right. Cool. Cool. I do want to mention the last night. It's good that I didn't sleep last night.
Didn't sleep, yeah.
The SVR Tigu trimaran, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, yeah.
Took off in the Jules Verne. So there's a Jules Verne. So one of the
just add that. That's like cream, or what, a cherry on top of the cream.
Yep. So one of the old teams is out there going for it, full nuke. So crew of 5 or 6, I think. Just charging Francois Gabar's boat, for those who don't know. Lazatig. SVR.
Yeah, the Julie Verne.
Yeah, the Julie Verne.
Frank.
Can you just say the name in good Australian?
Julie Verne and Frank
the name of the boat. The name
Frank
of the boat.
Gabbett is going to
Frank
crank her up.
Franco, say the name of the boat in Australian.
SVR Lazatigue. There you go.
Lazatigue.
Sivuray Lazarigu.
Anyway, Jules Verne racing. So that'll be interesting. I hope they don't collide with any of the 60s going around. But
well, it's interesting that they're leaving now because they will be in the Southern Ocean with them. So it's obviously
real quick.
They've obviously routed their track as well. So they think there's some weather coming.
So the target for the Jules Verne, do you guys remember what it is at the moment?
40-something days.
41.
It's 40 days, 23 hours, basically. Yeah. So amazing, isn't it?
Jeez, Bicey, you fucking missed it by an hour, mate.
I'm going to have to, maybe I might need to get a different cooking device because there could be 2 briskets needed to be cooked here.
Yeah.
Well, but there's 5 people on the Jules Verne catamaran. You have to have 6.
I do want
to. I'd smash you and I would smash a brisket on our own.
Oh yeah, here.
So good luck to those guys. Our mate John Schaefer, you mentioned him at the start. His little show, The Sailor's Debrief, he has on YouTube. It's up to episode 111. Is your tether a death trap? He's doing some really good safety stuff, old Shafe. So the Ministry of Sailing, if you're looking to try and find that on YouTube, just search Ministry of Sailing. And this whole element of what your tether should be like, I think, is an important discussion. So I just thought we'd give him a shout out. He's forever shouting us out on social pages. So just thought I'd pass that on because...
That's nice of you, Joe.
Yeah, well, he's doing some interesting stuff.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
Just keep talking about. I'm just looking something up. It's from memory that the Dame Award went to a life jacket manufacturer.
Yeah.
That if you fell in the water and got dragged, you get spun onto your back.
Oh.
So it's all a bit kind of interrelated, the whole safety side of things as well.
So it's kind of like a bit of a barefoot water ski start, and then just flip around and get the feet
Flip
up,
around
and you'll be fine.
just all your pants
What
fall off.
if you start swimming?
So you lay on your back, your boots fill up with water, they come off.
Yeah, boots are gone. Next thing you know, you get an eminer.
Eminer.
M&M.
An M&M. You get an M&M.
Cool.
It's one of them words, isn't it?
M&M.
Right. Ronston Junior Falling Cup happened over the weekend in Bayview Yacht Racing Association. Now, this is interesting because they took a whole bunch of sort of kids. I think they were like 10 to 14 or 12 to 14, 11 to 14. There you go. And stuck them in these little falling things called Nickies, which is sort of targeted at youngsters. None of them had fallen before, and they were all out there falling, and some of them were smoking it, and they had racing. They did a training sessions. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's basically like a scouse skiff, moth.
Moth, yeah.
Call it.
Yeah.
With foiling.
Yeah.
So look pretty cool.
Well, it's a good opportunity for kids, but how's that, like 11 to 14, and apparently they all got falling. Some were just mastered it, and were zooming around all over the place. So that's pretty impressive performance.
I wish I was a kid again.
Oh, it's a different world, isn't it? I wish I was a kid with all the knowledge I have in my head.
Mate, it's the same but different.
Yeah.
Picture this. Walking down the Port Lincoln Yacht Club.
Here comes the rainbow.
You see your rainbow getting rigged up. Mate, if they had podcasts back then, they're crapping on about rainbows. They're still crapping on about them.
100%. I mean, the older guys
You'd almost say it
sailing the old Wally One designs, when the cams came out, on the shortboards, with the windsurfing, they just couldn't get their head around it.
Mate,
all these kids, they don't even know what it was like back when we were growing up.
The little Nikki, quite rainbow-esque, one would say.
They're definitely related to a rainbow.
Yeah, it's where the inspirations come from. Bring back the rainbow.
True.
Campaign is well and truly off and running.
100%.
It's a good idea, though. Anyway, so giving kids the opportunity, so that's good. So
talk about rainbows. There was a couple of rainbows launched in Sydney this
yeah, we'll come back to that.
Did you see that?
We'll come back to
that.
Okay. That's part of the discussion. But
as I said, I'm blind. I can't read the run sheet. I lost my glasses.
I accidentally sent our run sheet to the race organisation for SailGP.
Just so you know what we're doing this week, guys.
I just wanted to keep you in the loop.
Thanks for Mel for deleting it off there pretty quickly. I didn't clue onto it for about 2 minutes, and then I've got
Was that on your WhatsApp?
Yeah, on the WhatsApp chat.
Lucky you didn't send the photo you sent the other day.
Yeah.
The windsurfer.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like a windsurfer anyway.
Yeah.
What I wanted to bring up was just a bit of topical discussion, because we've got all this cool stuff going on. Like it's Black Friday sales we're in the middle of. What are you going to buy me, kids? What would you like in your Black Friday sales if someone was listening?
I've never ever heard of Black Friday sales in my life.
Yeah, it's an
I don't know why all of a sudden Black Friday is such a big thing.
It's after their Thanksgiving, the Americans go and eat turkey and then
Why are we doing it?
Oh, I don't know, because it's marketing. That's all. Shops trying to get you to buy things. Anyway, well,
move on.
I mean, our sponsors do it. So we're gonna talk about it.
First of all, I'd buy you some Vycobi stuff, Jordan Spencer, but you've got every bit of article of clothing anyway.
I'd buy you
a new pair of glasses.
Yes, thank you. Yep,
there we go.
Yeah. They have to be prescription though.
Yeah,
I'd buy you a subscription to a towing service.
Who's that? Oh, for Bicey, that's a good one. Yeah.
No, I'd
buy Bicey a year worth of oil.
Yeah.
You know what I really want, and Facebook knows it because I get hammered with all the bloody ads anyway. a nice set of knives.
Oh,
Some Japanese steel knives. You type one little thing about a bloody knife into Facebook,
oh yeah.
she's blown up.
It's crazy.
Every
isn't it?
single knife manufacturer in the world, they're like, buy us. Let's get him right now. Black Friday.
It should be. Look, it could almost be a challenge where, you know, us fun-loving blokes, when you're in a sailing house, you know, you're doing a regatta and you're in a sailing house and somebody just walks away, they go for a leak and leaves their computer on.
You put something in
just
there.
search for something, and so their Facebook suddenly gets nothing too bad, but, you know, something a bit obscure. So their Facebook's suddenly loading and all the ads come up for them, I think, because as you say, you just look once and then
It's getting worse. Let's not talk about this. It's getting worse. I don't want to talk about it.
Mate, I don't need to. One, bring back the rainbow campaign. I've spoken about it a few times.
Yeah, you're going good with that one, aren't you?
Generally kicks in pretty nicely around Mardi Gras time in Sydney for all my algorithms. Two, the amount of shit me and Carlin share with each other via Instagram on, I won't tell you the form of humour, but we get hammered with that as well. So it sends you down a rabbit hole for sure. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we should mention that your Bring Back the Rainbow hashtag is being used now. Like, so the
It is.
Yep.
It
So
is.
the Making Waves Foundation, which is
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Go on.
yeah. Well, I just thought we might as well throw to it now. So their rite of passage team's been hard at work at Woolwich Dock every Wednesday and Thursday, honing their trade skills, and now they're building their second rainbow.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Bicey, do you reckon you had some influence here? You know,
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but there's potential. Well, actually, first of all, everyone go to the national, what's it called?
Making Waves.
But the National Rainbow Class Sailors Facebook page has all the information. Also, how to become a member of the class going forward.
there you go.
So, I mean, I'd like to think I could potentially be the inaugural life member. Just saying.
Just saying. Nick, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And so they're going to start the program up in Newcastle next year, so that'll be interesting. So just as you say,
boat being built down in Geelong on December 12th at the Western Beach.
We're going to have a world championship soon, Bicey.
Oh, mate, they're going to be coming out from the woodwork. Let's say,
Yeah,
Jared Chaplin from Larks Bay.
cool.
But there's some footage. 3 of them on the water. Is it 2 or 3 of them on the water?
Yeah.
Out of Sydney.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't seen numbers like that since 1993 at Larks Bay Sailing Club.
Oh dear. Dear, oh dear.
Oh, beautiful.
Righto.
I'm just looking at it now, and exactly right. We've got a few hashtags here: Rite of Passage, Making Waves Foundation, Bring Back the Rainbow.
There you go.
Right. I'm going to have to
move on.
I'm going to have to push a button here, you two.
Oh, here we go. Rip them off.
Oh, mate, I had so much more to talk about just there.
Oh, you can bring it up. I just wanted to make a quick transition. So,
all right, I'll just finish. It'll be
finish up.
28 seconds worth. I mean, there's a couple of things in life that make you proud, you know, joining Young Australia 2000, get in the inaugural honours list at the Paul Egan High School, or Bring Back the Rainbow hashtag being mentioned more than just us.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a poster made. Nice.
Oh, go on, do it. Get a poster.
All right.
Put it next to your Samantha Fox poster in your room.
Elle McPherson.
Well, those were the days.
Go on,
Right, before we move on to
that
other
couch you slept on last night, you've still got those. Got those pictures under the cushions.
Before we move on to other news and events, I discovered with our friends at Radix Nutrition Boys. So when I was in SailGP, in Dubai, in the Doobs, they stick you on the QE2.
The dudes.
That's the accommodation. So the QE2 is the old Queen Elizabeth, the QE2 ship, and it's tied up on a dock, and it's sort of not near anything, and Dubai, some things are cheap, some things are very expensive, and food, going out for food is way more than what your per diem is. Traveling with the Radix nutrition in your bag. You know, if you have to walk 2 miles to get to a bite to eat, or it's going to cost you a fortune, you can the Radix nutrition is the go. So it's a little bit of a what do they call it? You know, like a life hack. We just
life hack.
Yeah,
I like that word.
Yeah.
Radix nutrition, the life hack.
I actually could have listened. Unfortunately, we didn't have our podcast last week, and you could have mentioned this, Jordan. And I would have actually found myself taking some of the Radix off the shelf, which they have here in Southern Spas, instead of going to the shop, spending $200 and come home and you got nothing to cook still.
Yeah.
So
it's actually,
in saying that, I did have a hankering for some roast lamb.
Yeah.
So I brought a full leg of roast lamb, had 4 slices. Now I've got enough for sandwiches for the next week instead of the Radix. I should have just gone Radix.
But that's that's the way.
What you could have done is had the roast lamb with some, some peri-peri on the side, or some, or some Indian curry. You just had it as a side dish with the roast lamb.
Stop it.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it. Exactly that. So yeah, that's it. Just traveling with the Radix. It's the life hack.
Bit of falafel. Falafel on the roast lamb.
Now, as I said with Barkarati, if you use Barkarati as your discount code, you get 10% discount on us. Of course, if you go to the Radix site right now, you'll probably not use the code because they've got a Black Friday sale of 20% off everything across the site. So,
so just go there and do that anyway.
Yeah. I thought I'd let you know, but so good.
But hey, I tell you what, you write an email and say I ordered some Radix on Black Friday because Barkarati told us.
Yeah, that's right. Just send them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right. Now, events this week. There's the Andu Team Australia UniCredit Youth and PUIG Women's America's Cup squad a welcome home event at the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia on Thursday, 5th of December.
That'll be fun.
Yep, 6:30 till 9:30.
Thursday.
Be a ton of fun. So if you're in Sydney, cruise on down to Cruising Yacht Club of Australia and say good day to everyone. There you go.
Yep.
They're likeable, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey?
They're likeable, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. Great fun. So
I can't believe we didn't get an official invite. Maybe we could have gone live.
Oh, yeah. We should have got an official invite.
We never get invited to anything.
I know. There's got to be something we're doing wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just too honest.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start telling lies.
I just look. I'll tell you a funny story. Let me highlight. Right. So obviously we take commercial groups around at SailGP and give them a bit of love, right? They do not put me. They do not put me on the Rolex groups. Just so
why not?
Well, we're different sorts of people, but I'm not a Rolex sort of dude. I'm a bit more. I'm not.
Bit more Timex.
You're a more a Jandals visor type of guy.
Well, Jandals visor. You're definitely a visor guy,
mate.
As opposed to the Julius Marlowe /
Yeah, that's it. But I had the Bloomberg
a visor with happy pants.
Yeah. Well, I had the Bloomberg group turn up. Now Bloomberg do all these financial information. Like when you work in financial dealing rooms and stuff. Bloomberg.
You're telling us they're going to sponsor us?
No. Well, I did 20 years. That was my career for 20 years. And so
why aren't they sponsoring us?
I haven't asked. But they turned up and I got out in front and I said, look, I did this stuff for 20 years. So I know I used your stuff my whole career. And I know what you lot are like. And we just had an absolute ball. It was like an hour comedy show. Like it was just hilarious. Like people were laughing and cracking up. And
I know you're the financial types. It was like Christmas in bloody Dubai. Enough white powder around, I tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wolf of Wall Street.
They were having a damn good time, is all I'll say. But anyway, all right,
matching your Lamborghinis.
Back to your ball throwing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now it is time.
This is going down a good path. We're going well.
For an event, it is time for the biggest event on the Australian sailing calendar. That's right. It's the month of December. That means one thing, the
great
Capel
race.
Sound Invitational, the annual battle for the bar. Before we get into that, our mate Scott Patton says he wants to build that region into a sailing mecca, so he's going to run through the December events at the southern end of the Mornington Peninsula, and if you haven't been there, go. It's beautiful. They've got the Blairgarra Yacht Squadron have got a regatta for keelboats, so jump onto that, 27 to 30. 28 December to 5 January is the 52nd Hobie National Champs held at Macrae Yacht Club. And he says here there's a few friends of Barkarati involved in this. I feel some reverse curse tingles in the air down there. He would have seen a few of the Barkarati hoodies roaming around down there with the Hobies. 100% certain on that.
I'm excited. I'm excited in the coming 2 months. It's going to be good.
It is. He said, I know you're all thinking that's cool, but there's way more sailing still to come in lots of different classes, not to mention ones that have already been completed, like the Windsurfer LT States, the 14-foot Cat Regatta at Rosebud. But let's be honest, the piece de resistance is the Capel Sound Invitational. Just Google it, do yourself a favour, sign up. The event is free, and it'll be the best thing, hands down, you do all summer. Experience the region, realise you've been missing out all this time. It's a good ad for his little region, and this is why we do this little segment, to promote different regions and classes. So the Battle for the Bar, we're behind it. We're a sponsor of this event. Get on board, go down to all the organisers.
Remind us of the format again, Jordan, but basically it's run what you brung, right?
Yeah, run what you brung, and basically just doing laps. Reaching laps and just at the high tide line, and
just having a ball
on the best possible day. They pick it out of 3 days, and multiple laps depending on how fast your boat is. I do want to say to all the event organisers that are sending me dirty messages saying, talk is cheap. When are you going to turn up and do a regatta? Like the windsurfer, like Nick Bez for one, like Scotty. I have no leave left between doing all the commentary stuff and SailGP.
What was the date for the run to the bar?
Oh, it's like, hang on, I've got to look
between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, in there.
27th to 30th or something, right?
I am doing the actuals down in Melbourne, so maybe we'll see how we go.
Take a wally with you, BP.
Take your actual in it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Hey, Dunny, I've got an idea. Training session.
Dunny, I'm putting an asymmetrical on it, and I'm going to go down. Put a gypstick out there.
Love it. All right.
Events. I've got one.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
So I don't know if you guys know. Obviously, I've been doing a little bit of work in the last couple of months. Well, not a lot of work, just even nothing really. With the Sabos in Sydney, we are official sponsors.
We're sponsors of that too.
Yeah.
What am I going to sponsor?
Des Moines Sailing Club, of course. Now, there is a reason for that. It is my local.
Yep.
Jimmy Beck, our great mate Jimmy Beck, is running it. It's going to be a huge event. I said that I'd plug it. Sabos, obviously not sailed everywhere in Australia, but it's going to be a great event and lots of cool kids hanging out. So we're going to have a special edition coming up, and we've got some prizes and blah, blah, blah to sort out. So I'm all good. So Sabo Nationals, Des Moines Sailing Club.
Are we giving prizes? We got a few hoodies left over.
I've organised it.
Hoodies, T-shirts.
Yeah, I'll sort it out.
Stubby holders.
Yeah, stubby holders.
All right. Hey, Making Waves and Rainbow Class, give us a holler. We're going to sponsor your next event. So
there's two of you. I did ask Jimmy that. I said, so Beck, how many classes are there? Oh, there's about 12. No. Look, all seriousness. It's going to be a great event, and Des Moines Sailing Club putting on a big show for the kids. So looking forward to that.
Beauty.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, Jack Lloyd, Listener of the Week. We had some good emails come through. Our friends at Vycobi sponsor this. So every month we give away...
Still sponsoring us?
Hey?
Are they still sponsoring us?
Yeah, it's all signed and sealed indefinitely.
Is it?
Okay. So every month we give away a couple of $100 worth of Vycobia gear. You just get a voucher. You can pick what you want. It's that cool. So make sure you write in, and we'll come back to that in a second.
There was some pretty positive comments from the last winner.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that went
Karen,
well.
is it Karen in Canada, was she? Or
No, she was in Ireland or something. And it turned
Ireland.
She said she got the gear.
Sorry, I didn't.
She got the gear quicker than if she'd ordered it from London or something like that. It was insane. So, Anyway, this week we've got a couple of good emails that I wanted to mention. So the first one is just a nice email from Luke Tugas, avid listener to the podcast, love it. I do not know the process you guys throw in deciding who to interview next, but I wanted to throw some names out there. It'd be very interesting to hear you guys interview these incredible legends of our sport. And he's given a whole bunch of names. And it's a long list, but that's just some of the names that my buddies and I have talked about being very interesting to hear on your podcast. That's just great, like we won't talk about our process, but
our process is very rigorous.
Process.
Let me tell you,
it's non-stop. I got to say, what was this gentleman's name? Sorry, I'm blind.
Luke.
I can't see the email.
Luke.
Luke. So, Luke, it's good that you're getting a mention, Luke. Our process, it's basically 24/7, 7 days a week. And it is rigorous. You're right.
The team
guys,
in the
that's
back office.
It's just immense.
Anyway, but yeah, we really appreciate it because it just takes
some of the names. Are you allowed to say some of the names? What's some of the names?
Don't worry. It's
okay.
boring.
No worries. Move on.
But,
Mate, there's a good. Well, what I'm basically looking at, we've got a sector of Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of a couple of Aussies in there.
Yeah.
Some of the world's best navigators.
Yep.
And then, of course,
Nettie.
We have a request for Nettie
again.
Yeah, we got to get Netto back on.
People are still talking about
talk about that Netto. Now, a bit off piste here, but if you don't mind me saying, I haven't sent. I'll send this video through. Episode 200 at about 46 minutes and 30 seconds is the famous helium beer drinking episode.
Is it?
Yeah,
no,
I know.
Helium beer drinking was like episode 22.
No, we did best of.
Oh, yeah, copy.
Episode 200, 46 minutes and 30 seconds or so. So go to that section because last week in Porto, we were sitting around in Villa de Conde, and I was introducing people to our show and telling them how funny it was.
Right.
And I said, listen to this. And I put them in the headphones. And the first person gets to the point
himself.
where, oh my God, beer everywhere. And then everyone wanted to listen. I reckon it went through about 30 people.
Still picking the earwax out of your headphones.
Got funny little animals in my hair too. Hey, episode 200 from 46 minutes and 30 seconds on. That's where you hear it. I've been trying to find it forever.
Okay, write it down so we can always. Yeah, it was
hilarious.
It was the first time we've actually been able to just be together, and I think you and I were together, Bryson. It just
I was in Sydney still, but yeah,
we brainstormed and came up with a few things. That was a good one. James Mangold, good. This is an interesting discussion. He sent an email. Firstly, thanks for the fantastic podcast. I'm an avid fan after stumbling across it earlier this year when finding info on the America's Cup. Been tracking the competitors in the Vendee Globe Challenge and have been amazed with the distant records that keep getting broken and watching the footage from the boats and noticing it's not a great environment to be living in for a long period, especially when the boats are bouncing around. There are plenty of videos on YouTube showing how inhospitable it can be. We've got plenty of discussion around this. My question is, are those sailors at risk of developing chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE? Basically, when you smack your head, like the footballers, American footballers, and
the helmets. Yeah.
We've already discussed this, and we had a long chat with, with a few people about it, and they have to be wearing this gear downstairs. Yeah.
And so he's worried about whether racing those boats could contribute to the development of brain injuries or long-term neurological damage. I would argue one leads to the other. Like to sail on a Mocha 60, you probably have to have a little bit of...
I'd say just being a sailor leads to long-term neurological damage.
It's a bit like a painter. Are you a painter because you fucked up, or you're fucked up because you're a painter?
So it goes into detail talking about all the repetitive action and the movements of the boats and potential for banging your head, but also the backwards and forwards and the physical trauma, and the repetitive motion, and just interested in our views. So, I mean, it is probably worth a good discussion. We've talked about it a bit in the past. It definitely has potential. Like there's sort of elements in the way you manage risk on board with these boats, like you sleep with your feet facing forward. That's like one of the
You do that on any boat.
Yeah,
you do that on any
like
boat,
this, just all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely potential for injury.
But there was two stories of the girls getting thrown out of the bunks, and getting injuries, and so it is a big thing. At the moment, we're going okay. There doesn't seem to be too much going on, but it could happen very quickly.
Maybe a good that could be, we could get Spike from MSOS, for example, one of the doctors who's been following a lot of the yacht races around the world, and actually chat to him about it.
Yeah,
that could be a good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so.
The neurological damage to sailors.
Another email was from Shafe. He just sent us a note talking about the flight controller banter that's going on with SailGP, and he was sort of just saying, if you want to get a flight controller, just get some fighter pilots. Because that's basically what they do. So he was saying fighter pilots or flight controllers. He reckons that's the pathway to doing it. I don't know how many fighter pilots have got spare time.
Well, for 12 million, share of 12 million US, probably a few.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But anyway,
so they have to wear their green overalls and their helmets.
Yeah, what do they call those suits? Where the
flight suit.
Flight suits.
Yeah, but because they stopped moving the
G-Force suits.
Yeah, those ones. That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah.
Would you? I'd be Maverick. What would you be, Jay? Iceman? Ice Man.
I don't know what I'd be.
I'd be Rainbow Boy.
Why do they call you Rainbow Boy, Rainbow Boy?
Maverick, Rainbow Boy coming in.
You'd be able to tell my plane because the canopy would just have a little bit of a dome.
Bubble on the bubble.
It'd be like
an extra window.
It'd be like the Pope Mobile.
Yes, exactly. We'll draw.
Wouldn't be very aerodynamic, would it?
No.
Why is Jay's plane so slow?
We'll get.
Have you seen the airflow?
Is it next week or the week after? We'll do another. I think we got another week, I think we got another week before we will announce the winner of the Listener of the Month.
Yeah, but some nice emails there.
I wouldn't mind doing something different the following month, whether people send in photos of their boats or something like that, and the coolest boat we get in or something different. I reckon that could be fun. Where or unless you got any other ideas,
be a bit outside. That might scare a few people because it's not like normal. How if we miss a show every Monday morning, we get all these bad emails about how
we might bring other people in. That's all.
Yeah, but we're creatures of consistency, humans in general. I think it might scare people off.
It's more we're lazy creatures more than anything.
Yeah, I think so.
No, but in all seriousness, that could be fun.
That's what I reckon. I'd like to see some cool stuff. I'd like to, or a picture of your yacht club, something like that, where we can actually.
All right, that's it. We're bringing back Club of the Month. Everyone send in their submissions. You're going to get a certificate.
Okay.
The Bar Karate Club of the Month.
But has to have something with Bar Karate in the background.
You'll have to fill out the blanks and print it yourself and buy yourself a frame and hang it. But you will receive a template.
There's a chance for fraud here. People would be put
October 2024 Bar Karate Club of the Month. How come we got 18 of them?
Yeah, that's it. All right.
All right. What are we on here?
It's hot time with Bice.
Not much left to talk about, to tell the truth, boys. We kind of touched on it. Yep. Sail Melbourne going on at the moment.
Yep.
No, I haven't seen any results as of yesterday. Today's the last day, is that right?
Yeah, so there is some results up. So they're racing in all sorts of different things. There's a lot of the power boats are out there, which is good. They got a whole 3 different fleets. In the tasers, one of our
the tasers.
Ian Taylor, who sends the stringers, been
Grown-up rainbows.
been sending us. He's going well. There are no rainbows. There's Optis. There's all the Ilkas,
470s,
29ers, the
470s,
470s,
49ers,
IQ4.
Mm-hmm.
IQ4. Gray's going pretty well. He's got a first. He's dropping 2 firsts basically at this stage. So he's going quite well.
Wow. What does that do to his points overall?
Dropping 2 firsts, he moves from after 12 races, he's moved to 10 points.
10 points.
That's what I'm.
Anyway, which is good. So it's on.
Yep. So Sail Melbourne. I mean, one that it's been in the calendar for many, many years now.
Yep.
And did it take felt as kind of took a little hiatus, but it's kind of coming back. Is kind of the feeling I'm getting.
Well, it should build up ahead of the 32 Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some info from Scotty Patton about the LT Stakes. Windsurfer took place. At the Rice Sailing Club, overall winner, Jason Morris. Heavy was the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Bez.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, so a couple of different, but that's always good. And something Scott did pick up on in the windsurfer fleet. No one wears Crocs. Bit disappointed.
Oh.
Anyway, carry on.
Other
thing we've got here, boys, is the Moth Nationals.
Yes.
Coming up.
No, they've been and run.
Toronto
Amateur Sailing Club.
Toronto.
Congratulations to Otto Henry having a win. All the youngsters.
Otto.
Yeah.
Bravo,
Jack Ferguson next, Ryan Littlechild in 3rd. Then the old man himself, the legend, Scotty Babbage in 4th, and John Harris in 5th. So
Jono, nice work.
Nice work. What a great performance.
Great performance. One of the best.
Quite a few different results. But the Moss, there was some good footage on YouTube if you haven't seen that as well. So jump on to look at that. But yeah, run and won. What else you got, boss?
No, that's kind of it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we're going to have to do our Sydney to Hobart special at some point in time.
Yeah, I better start looking at who's in the race and start
116
my head around it
or something.
Can't wait.
It's creeping back up there, isn't it?
What's the weather going to be doing, Jordan?
I made a prediction about 3 weeks ago that I think we were going to get a reasonably light nor'easter. Is what I had.
Start.
I'm going back from my memory though, but yeah, it will. It'll
Is that
be
off the top of your head?
Yeah, I think
light nor'easter start.
Thunderstorms
building
around
afternoon, and we're going to get a southerly buster this year.
I haven't got to that stage yet, but I'll come back to that next week. Hey, hit me up again next week. I hadn't thought about it this week. I forgot to do my
be due for one
modelling.
Yeah.
But anyway,
maybe we could get Squark on. Always a bit of a crowd favourite.
Well, that was one of the last times we were together, Bicey, when we had Squarky on in the CYCA before the race. That was a funny interview.
That was a good one.
Yeah, here.
It was a lot
of fun. Not bad on the old eyeball, just quietly.
Not bad on the eyeball. She's a 10 out of 10.
You idiots. It's just crass. All right, gentlemen.
Well, she was a 10 out of 10.
Life is good.
It is.
Yep. All right. So back to normal programming next week. We'll have a good special guest. A lot of banter. Can we talk about new boats, boss? No? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Potentially.
Okay.
It's all happening.
Okay, cool. Remember, just send us your emails if you're unhappy. If you're happy, cheers.
Please send your emails in, and don't forget we're going to do the new Club of the Month. So start sending in your club stuff.
That'll be good. Club stuff. Why you should be Club of the Month.
Why you should be Club of the Month.
And why it should be Brighton and Sequel Jocker.
And I'll tell you, I won't even send it the form as
why it shouldn't be Drummoyne Sailing Club.
I'll even send it as a Word document. You can even doctor it up as much as you want.
Don't put those little lines on it, though. You know the lines?
Shut up.
When you type the lines.
Cheers at barkarate.com to reach out to us.
GPT.
Go to Radix.
Certificate.
Radix Nutrition. Get your discount. Use the code barkarate and enjoy. 20% off.
Where's your voice gone, Jay? I can't hear you.
You know what I like about you, blokes?
Mate, what's happened to your voice? You've gone.
What's happened to your voice, Jay?
Hey?
Oh, there you go. You're back.
I'm back.
Oh, that's it. You've got my disease for a second.
Shut up. Right, we're gone.
You weren't talking into the microwave.